Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. Siheyuan. On the first day of being full of birds, he fiercely attacked Yi Zhonghai Zhang Yicheng. Traveled to the first day of being full of birds in Siheyuan in 60 years, becoming a presence that everyone shouted and beat on the streets. At this time, Zhang Yicheng learned that Yi Zhonghai had embezzled his father's pension, had been rumored and stolen by He Yuzhu, had been stolen by Jia Zhangshi with a net bag of goods, and had been morally kidnapped by a deaf old lady. His reputation had long been tarnished, and Zhang Yicheng decided to seek revenge. At the beginning, the villain went to the end, punched the foolish pillar, slapped Jia Zhang, and forced Yi Zhonghai to kneel down and apologize. After handing over his father's compensation, the whole factory of Yi Zhonghai was reported, which has been causing him to choose to hang in agony. As Zhang Yi's fame improved, the birds became street mice and everyone shouted and beat them. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Upon learning that Yi Zhonghai was greedy for his father's salary, Zhang Yi. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. 60 years, steel rolling mill. Have I traveled? Zhang Yicheng stands inside the Red Star steel rolling plant. Surrounded by huge mechanical noise and the sound of metal collisions. Zhang Yicheng was standing next to a huge molten iron boiler, coming from the scorching hot pavement. The air is filled with metal and smoke. In the steel rolling mill. The workers are busy working in the workshop. Zhang Yicheng, with your small physique, you can't do these tasks. Director Zhang from the personnel office. Leading Zhang Yicheng. Visit the workers. The working environment. You have also seen that these mechanical equipment, cranes, conveyors, and metal plates are all manual labor. This is the daily work of workers. This high-temperature and high-strength working environment. You really can't do it. Director Zhang spoke in front of me. Zhang Yicheng nodded thoughtfully. A steel rolling mill in the 1960s. It is the era of national industrial development. Major steel mills across the country are vigorously engaged in production. Zhang Yicheng knows. In such high-intensity labor, noisy environments, and extreme working conditions. I definitely can't bear it myself. Zhang Yicheng is currently 21 years old. He has a secret that he cannot tell others. That's right, Zhang Yicheng is a traveler. Replace Zhang Yicheng who lives in the courtyard. That was yesterday. On the first day of arriving at the poultry-filled courtyard. After Zhang Yicheng received the original owner's memory. Zhang Yicheng said that no one is better than him. I understand more about these birds and animals in the courtyard. This TV drama. Zhang Yicheng has read it at least 4 or 5 times. The original owner Zhang Yicheng's home. Actually, it's the home where He Yuzhu currently resides. But I don't know why. But now I live in the corner room between the silly pillar and the rain house. It is a dark, damp and dimly lit side room in the corner. In his early years, his father promptly closed the iron gate at the steel rolling mill. Causing it to fall into the furnace with no surviving bones. For this, Zhang Yicheng works every month. You can receive it all. A consolation subsidy of 6 yuan. This 6 yuan subsidy. Leave it to Yi Zhonghai to Zhang Yicheng. In these years, Zhang Yicheng. The difficult times have come to this day. Until yesterday, Zhang Yicheng traveled and arrived. On the first day of poultry filling the courtyard. Until the original owner is replaced. Take a message for yourself in yesterday's bangs. Holding a will and a letter of introduction. Zhang Yicheng got up early this morning. I only learned something when I arrived at the steel rolling mill. After his father sacrificed himself for the steel rolling mill. The steel rolling mill gives Zhang Yicheng money every month. Actually, it's not 6 yuan. But it's 20.8 yuan and 30 cents. That is to say, Yi Zhonghai is available every month. Give Zhang Yicheng 6 yuan. Actually, Yi Zhonghai embezzled his father's pension. A total of 20.2 yuan and 30 cents. Zhang Yicheng knows about this courtyard house. Everyone is not a good person. But I didn't expect Yi Zhonghai to be so greedy. Monthly compensation. It is clear that Zhang Yi can live a very good life. I only have 6 yuan in hand. It's really not enough for Zhang Yicheng to use. After knowing all of this, Zhang Yicheng followed Director Zhang. Director Zhang, is my father's salary really 20.8 yuan and 30 cents? At this moment, Director Zhang stopped. Looking back at Zhang Yicheng with a puzzled expression. That's right, the monthly salary is reconciled between the HR and finance departments and handed over to Yi Zhonghai to take back to you, right? Yi Zhonghai always holds it, and no one else has taken it on his behalf. Zhang Yicheng repeatedly confirmed. With one hand covering my heart, a wave of resentment arose naturally. In the memory of receiving Zhang Yicheng had many difficult days. 6 yuan is not only for food and clothing. I also have to share all my living expenses with others. These funds are simply not enough for Zhang Yicheng to use. The thought of having so much money deducted by Yi Zhonghai. Now Zhang Yicheng's anger has reached its peak in his heart. What made Zhang Yicheng even more angry was the whole quadrangle has bullied themselves. There were several times when the things in the courtyard were gone. As long as the deaf old lady Jia Zhang said they saw Zhang Yicheng there. Everyone naturally believes that it was Zhang Yicheng who stole it. Zhang Yicheng still remembers being slapped several times by Silly Zhu and Jia Zhangshi. Accused of stealing. Zhang Yicheng's reputation surrounded him. All have been greatly affected. Are you okay? Director Zhang saw Zhang Yicheng's face turn red and his ears turn red. I thought I kept talking about Zhang Yi becoming a small body just now. The young man mentioned has no face. Being a worker is actually really difficult for you. I am a straightforward person. I was wondering if you'd like to try the cafeteria at the steel rolling mill first. That job is easy, and you don't have to worry about food and drink. Director Zhang reached out and patted Zhang Yicheng's shoulder. Child, what did you think? So engrossed, oh, it's okay. Then I'll go to the cafeteria first. Try going to the cafeteria first. If you want to change positions later, it's not impossible. Actually, your salary in the cafeteria is also 20.8 yuan and 30 cents. Just don't let anyone know about this matter. Okay, thank you Director Zhang. On Zhang Yicheng's way back, the more he thought about it, the angrier he became. At this moment, in my mind, a mechanical sound rang out. The emotional system has been successfully bound. Congratulations to the host for binding the emotional system. The host only needs to obtain emotional points to receive various rewards. Given that the host has just arrived in this world, now reward the host's newbie with a big gift package. Reward the host's body recovery potion. Reward the host with 10 great unity cards. Reward the host's divine level understanding. Zhang Yicheng heard a resounding voice in his mind. Body recovery potion. A potion that can restore the body. Is that what it means? I must give it a try if I can restore my weak and emaciated body to a strong state now. Use. Accompanied by Zhang Yicheng's words. The body recovery potion has been successfully used. Suddenly, Zhang Yicheng felt his body. It has indeed changed. Although Zhang Yicheng's body is now, the appearance is still dry and thin. But in fact, Zhang Yicheng felt it. Power is constantly increasing. Even if there are 10 foolish pillars who claim to be the gold medal fighters in the courtyard, Zhang Yicheng also dares to say that he can knock it over directly. If the system gains emotional value, then I must teach Yi Zhonghai a lesson. Give me 6 yuan a month, and the remaining 20.2 yuan and 30 cents will all go into his own pocket. While thinking, Zhang Yicheng came to the supply and marketing cooperative on the side. Draw a big unity card. I bought a bag of things. Take the meat and grain coupons again. I bought high-quality meat and vegetables. We need to bring back all the things that have been missing in recent years. Zhang Yicheng is on his way back to the courtyard house. Encountered many neighbors from all walks of life. Zhang Yicheng, where did you get these things from? Just as he entered the courtyard of the courtyard, Yan Bugui widened his eyes. Looking at the net pocket filled with both meat and vegetables. There are also a few pieces of soap and towels. So many things did you get from there? Yan Bugui asked again. Where else can I get it? Where did I steal it from, right? He Yuzhu's words rang out and he walked forward with a net bag and lunch box in his hand. Silly pillar, which I did you see it was stolen? Zhang Yicheng turned his head and stared at He Yuzhu as he spoke. What kind of thing? He Yuzhu was foolish on the spot. Looking at Zhang Yicheng with an incredulous expression on his face. Zhang Yicheng, why don't you apologize quickly? What's wrong with you? What's bothering you, rain pillar? I heard Zhang Yicheng call He Yuzhu silly. Yan Bugui felt that Zhang Yicheng had to be beaten up and his face was swollen today. I called you, stupid pillar, stupid thing. You're just stealing. I don't know who the lunchbox in Tian Shan restaurant is. Zhang Yicheng finished cursing and walked into the hallway to the main courtyard. Zhang Yicheng saw it at first glance. Huairu is washing clothes next to the pool. Jia Zhang's family was also washing vegetables on the side. Seeing Zhang Yicheng returning with a lot of things in his hand. Jia Zhang immediately put down the vegetables in her hand. Quickly approaching Zhang Yicheng with a smile on his face. Zhang Yicheng, where did you steal something from? Yo ha! Do you still have meat today? Coincidentally, the meme is about to start with meat. Jia Zhang spoke on her own. Reaching out for the net bag in Zhang Yicheng's hand. You're always spouting feces, right? Stealing your mom's stuff. Zhang Yicheng opened his mouth and cursed the Jia and Zhang families. Walk towards the room in the corner of your own home. Ah! I didn't hear Huairu wrong, did I? Jia Zhang thought he had tinnitus. Just now, Zhang Yicheng cursed himself for not dying of old age. Mom, Zhang Yicheng just scolded you for not dying. Qinhuai watched the abnormal Zhang Yicheng from the side. Could it be that the work at the steel rolling mill was ruined? Chapter 2. Qinhuai is furious, hitting her dog is equivalent to. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Pillar, don't forget about it. It's estimated that Zhang Yicheng's job at the steel rolling mill won't be successful. He's being petty. He's just a coward. Why do you have a similar view with that kind of person? He Yuzhu didn't listen to Yan Bugui's persuasion on the side. Step into the main courtyard from the middle courtyard. What did He Yuzhu say today? Everyone has to teach Zhang Yicheng a lesson. 3 days without knocking on the house or peeling off the tiles. Dare to challenge his courtyard bully. He Yuzhu thinks that Zhang Yi is tired of making a living. Listen to Yan Bugui's continued persuasion. He Yuzhu said angrily. This kind of ant dares to call me stupid pillar. How can I mess around in a courtyard house in the future? I have to let him know today what the consequences of being called silly pillar are. Pillar. Zhang Yicheng called you stupid pillar. Jia Zhang, who was standing by, also called out. Yes, just now in the front yard, I asked him why he brought back so many things, and he scolded me. Jia Zhang smiled mischievously upon hearing this. Thinking about Zhang Yicheng just now. Blaming oneself for not dying of old age. Silly Zhu dislikes being called Silly Zhu the most. I didn't expect to be called silly by Zhang Yi, who is usually cowardly and timid. Pillar, it's in this courtyard house. Who dares to call you stupid pillar? I didn't expect to be called silly pillar by an inconspicuous Zhang Yi. Silly Zhu, why are you still working in a courtyard house? This Zhang Yicheng is too outrageous. According to his age, he should call you pillar brother. Huairu, standing next to her mother. In law, said with a hint of flattery on her face. At this moment, Su Damao walked out of the backyard. Su Damao glanced at Zhang Yi's family in his clothes and smiled at He Yuzhu, saying, He Yuzhu, now Zhang Yi in Chengdu dares to call you silly pillar. You're really bad at it. He Yuzhu's face flushed with anger. Let Zhang Yicheng, who has the weakest combat effectiveness in the courtyard, be called a foolish pillar. I can't bear it. He Yuzhu, who always seeks revenge. In the direction of Zhang Yi's marriage, he cursed loudly. Zhang Yicheng, come out to me and see if I don't kill you bastard today. At this time, Zhang Yicheng was at home. Looking at my dilapidated home. A bed, a table. A stool, a cabinet. It's all the furnishings in the house. Just put down the things in my hand. Zhang Yi successfully heard outside the door. Silly Zhu shouted to kill himself. You can travel anywhere, to this courtyard full of birds. Zhang Yicheng took out an apple from his net pocket. Wiped it. I took a bite. Suddenly, Zhang Yi felt a sensation. My body seems to be stronger. I just feel like every bite of an apple. The energy inside the body is rapidly increasing. Zhang Yicheng felt the enhancement of energy in his body. With a bang. Open your own door. Zhang Yicheng looked at the silly pillar at the door. Dare to scold me, I see you're not going to die. He Yuzhu walked forward and grabbed Zhang Yicheng's collar, forcefully dragging him to the front yard. There are also more and more people around. It's not a big deal to come out and watch the excitement. Zhang Yicheng, if you don't apologize to He Yuzhu as soon as possible, you will cry later. Why provoke He Yuzhu if you have nothing to do? Hurry up and distribute the stolen goods you brought back today to the big guy. The big guy will help you plead for mercy. At this moment, Zhang Yicheng was still biting the apple. It's strange to say. Feel the increase in energy while eating. Zhang Yicheng's body and bones have not changed much now. But in reality, Zhang Yicheng clenched his fists tightly. Now I feel like a punch hit silly Zhu's face. Can he have his front teeth knocked out? Let go, give you a chance. Zhang Yicheng stared at He Yuzhu and whispered softly. Let go. Haha. I'm afraid, right? He Yuzhu's words had just fallen. Zhang Yicheng clenched his fist tightly. A straight punch hit He Yuzhu's face. Suddenly, a tooth flew out of He Yuzhu's mouth. It happened to fall into Jia Zhang's mouth, laughing heartily. The people on site were stunned when they saw this scene. Is this still the same Zhang Yicheng who was hit by the silly pillar on the ground? With this punch, my teeth flew out. Silly pillar, he dares to hit you. Qinhuai was quite surprised. All of the above are silly pillars rubbing Zhang Yicheng against the ground. But now he has one front tooth knocked out by Zhang Yicheng. Seeing this strange scene, Qinhuai went from surprise to anger. After all, silly Zhu is still his own licking dog now. How can I go to work to subsidize my own family even if it's broken? Silly Zhu, quickly stand up and hit him. Defamate me for stealing. I won't hit you, but you came knocking on me. You really treat me like a bully, right? At this moment, silly Zhu felt his head shake in a daze. The little rabbit's wings are hard, dare to hit me. He Yuzhu cursed and clenched his fist, ready to punch Zhang Yicheng when he came up. Zhang Yicheng thought of the care he had received from He Yuzhu lying on the ground before. Seeing He Yuzhu running over to hit himself, I watched as He Yuzhu approached. Pop. Zhang Yicheng slapped He Yuzhu hard in the face. Zhang Yicheng is not afraid of people like He Yuzhu now. As the gold medalist of the quadrangle, He Yuzhu. Now, Zhang Yicheng was forced to hit the ground with a palm fan, spinning in place and falling to the ground. The onlookers were stunned when they saw the surprising scene in front of them. When did Zhang Yicheng's combat effectiveness become so strong? Even the strongest He Yuzhu in the courtyard couldn't hit him. Watching He Yuzhu being unilaterally beaten, everyone instinctively took several steps back. Now He Yuzhu only feels dizzy and dizzy. He has been in the courtyard for so many years. It's all his fault for beating others. No one else beats him. I'll leave my words here today. From whose mouth will I hear the slander of stealing again? The ending will be like He Yuzhu. Zhang Yicheng's eyes exuded a murderous aura, staring at everyone present. Seeing Zhang Yicheng's fierce gaze, everyone present understood. Zhang Yicheng is now a different person from before, completely different. Perhaps someone mentioned the word steal. It will be exchanged for Zhang Yicheng's fierce beating. I have one more thing to solve today, Zhang Yicheng said. The people around took a step back, waiting for Zhang Yicheng to speak. Everyone saw Zhang Yicheng walking straight to the door of Yi Zhonghai's house and up the steps. Arriving at the tightly closed gate of the Yi Zhonghai family. Bang! Kick open the door of Yi Zhonghai's family. Yi Zhonghai is observing the war outside the door. Unexpectedly not responding. Falling to the ground with the door connected. Lying on the ground and looking up at Zhang Yicheng standing at the door. I didn't wait for Yi Zhonghai to speak. Zhang Yicheng took 3 or 2 steps in. Grab Yi Zhonghai's collar tightly. Drag and drag to the middle of the courtyard. What's going on here? Jia Zhang was startled. This damn Zhang Yicheng. Surprisingly dragging Yi Zhonghai to the middle of the courtyard. This is still the timid one. The cockroach that the people in the courtyard can handle. Why does it feel like someone has changed? And a scene that even more unexpected to everyone happened. Yi Zhonghai, take out all my father's money. At this moment, the people present perked up their ears and widened their eyes. At this point, some people understand. No wonder Zhang Yicheng took gunpowder today. I went to the steel rolling mill to find out. How much is his father's pension? At this point, Yi Zhonghai finally understood. Why is Zhang Yicheng so angry? Zhang Yicheng grabbed Yi Zhonghai's collar. Don't you spit out all the deductions from my father's salary over the years. I will notify the police of the Public Security Bureau to arrest you and put you in jail now. Chapter 3. Only by using violence to control violence can one completely regain ownership. You are listening at novel.Audio. At this moment, a middle-aged woman who heard the news rushed into the yard nervously from outside. Zhang Yicheng, quickly let go of an old man. Do you dare to hit an old man? Seeing his man asking Zhang Yicheng, he grabbed his collar and quickly spoke up to stop him. A big mom. My dad's money, take it out and pay me back quickly. At this moment, the old lady understood what was going on, and it seemed that the situation had been exposed. You also injured the pillar. Aunt just went out to pour out the night pot. Still chatting gossip with neighbors outside the dry toilet. I heard others say that Zhang Yicheng stole a lot of good things and returned to the courtyard. When Aunt Yi returned to the entrance of the courtyard. Just as the person who heard it said. Zhang Yicheng went crazy and even grabbed Yi Zhonghai to fight. What money is it? At this time, the lively quadrangle courtyard. Judge Lu Haizhong ran out of the backyard. Upon seeing Zhang Yicheng clutching Yi Zhonghai's collar. I feel like it's time. Intentionally asking. Zhang Yicheng, what money is it? What do you mean? You should have made it clear. Yi Zhonghai, help me collect money every month, right? He gives me 6 yuan a month. If I hadn't gone to the steel rolling mill to report today. I didn't know my father's salary was 20.8 yuan and 30 cents. Yi Zhonghai deducted 22 yuan and 30 cents from my father's money left for me every month. Zhang Yicheng finished speaking. The scene fell into silence. No one spoke. Yi Zhonghai is in the minds of the entire hospital. All exist in a fair and just manner. Yi Zhonghai's every word and action. They are all regarded as standards by people in quadrangle courtyards. Among the onlookers, it can be considered clear. The reason for Zhang Yicheng's convulsion today. In the eyes of these people, Yi Zhonghai is an upright person. I can't imagine Yi Zhonghai will do such unethical things. The onlookers believe in it. Yi Zhonghai would not do such a thing. Believe in Yi Zhonghai's character. The onlookers immediately defend Yi Zhonghai. An old man is a gentleman, how could he have done such a thing? Zhang Yi, you have become accustomed to petty theft on your own, while others try their best to protect you. You want a dog to bite people, right? Doing sneaky things on your own and slandering someone else's uncle, your conscience has really been eaten by the dog. Zhang Yicheng heard the people around him continuously output oneself stealing things. The more you think, the more angry you become, so speak up directly. Alright, since that's the case, then I'll go find the police and the street office. Then go to the factory to find the leadership team. I don't believe in evil yet, no one can deal with him. Yi Zhonghai heard Zhang Yicheng's emotions so excited. It's the police again, and I have to go to the street office. I have to go to the steel rolling mill to make a fuss, and my heart immediately panics. Zhang Yicheng, it's all misunderstandings. Hear Yi Zhonghai's words. Zhang Yicheng understood that this cunning old fox was anxious. At this moment, Yi Zhonghai is like an ant on a hot pot. Once the matter of taking Zhang Yicheng's own money is defeated, the reputation that I have accumulated so hard over the years is considered ruined. But now if we just give the money directly, give it back to Zhang Yicheng, that's equivalent to being in front of everyone. Admit taking money from the Zhang family. Now everyone around is human. Yi Zhonghai has completely broken through the defense. I didn't expect this stinky kid to play this trick. Zhang Yicheng, I want you to look good. At this moment, everyone didn't expect He Yuzhu suddenly appeared behind Zhang Yicheng. When He Yuzhu swung his round arm and fist, I want Zhang Yicheng to taste his prowess. Just at this moment, Yi Zhonghai discovered the movements of He Yuzhu. Hold on to Zhang Yicheng's hand. Zhang Yicheng used his enhanced physical fitness. I can detect even a slight movement now. Not to mention He Yuzhu, who waved towards him with anger and killing intent. While He Yuzhu punches, Zhang Yicheng felt his arms grasping tightly by Yi Zhonghai. Zhang Yicheng now feels that only violence can be used to control violence. Only then can I completely regain everything that belongs to me. Faced with the fist from He Yuzhu, he tightly hugged his hand with Yi Zhonghai. At this moment, Zhang Yicheng discovered Yi Zhonghai, although with a pitiful expression on his face, but the corners of the mouth inadvertently curled up. A face full of cunning schemes about to succeed. A hint of calmness flashed in Zhang Yicheng's eyes. I don't know if it's due to physical fitness. On He Yuzhu's fist, the moment it hit him in the face, Zhang Yicheng's reaction speed is like that of a cheetah. Quickly lift your right hand. Steadily intercept He Yuzhu's fist. I didn't wait for He Yuzhu to react. While Zhang Yicheng's arm muscles were tense. What happened when He Yuzhu didn't react? My entire wrist has twisted. Ah! He Yuzhu screamed in pain, let go, it's about to break. At this moment, Zhang Yicheng's body sank slightly. The left foot feels like it's on a spring, with one toe touching the ground. Knees thrust fiercely towards Yi Zhonghai's belly. A muffled sound all over. Yi Zhonghai only felt a severe pain spreading from his abdomen all over his body. I only saw Yi Zhonghai's body, unconsciously bending, fly out and fall heavily to the ground. At this moment, Zhang Yicheng released his grip on He Yuzhu. Take a deep breath and calmly adjust your standing posture. Help. Help. Killed. 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 A middle-aged woman saw her husband and He Yuzhu. Let Zhang Yicheng hit the ground and shout anxiously. And just now I witnessed Zhang Yicheng with my own eyes. People who use the flowing moves are all scared out of their wits. Call the police. Who's going to call the police? The great thief Zhang Cockroach has killed someone. Jia Zhang looked at the source of her family's income. We can't let Zhang Yi disappear. Zhang Yicheng remained calm. Call the police. Look who the police are here to catch. Embezzled my father's salary for 8 years. Enough to make Yi Zhonghai eat peanuts. Not right. What do you call me? Zhang Cockroach. Zhang Yicheng was stunned. In Zhang Yicheng's understanding, cockroaches are pests. This is a great insult to one's personality. Faced with Jia Zhang's words, Zhang Yicheng had already said hello earlier. Tell them to keep their mouths shut. Zhang Yicheng took 3 or 2 steps to reach Jia Zhang's front. Without hesitation, raise your hand. Facing Jia Zhang's face. I slapped you. Then he slapped me. Make a crisp sound. Every slap hit Jia Zhang's face. Immediately, a 5-finger mark of emotion will emerge. Jia Zhang's family cried out in agony. I ate several big pussy bags in a row. Jia Zhang's face instantly swelled up. A trace of blood oozed from the corners of the mouth. Surrounding people. I was completely stunned by Zhang Yicheng's actions today. Today, not only did He Yuzhu, Yi Zhonghai, and even Jia Zhangshi get beaten. These are the 3 major evil forces of the quadrangle. This Zhang Yicheng simply stared at everything. The second and third masters on site. I saw that Zhang Yicheng had no intention of stopping. Seeing Jia Zhang's face swell up. It's no different from a pig's head. Keep fighting like this. Man's life is bound to come. 2 people only dare to persuade and dare not approach. Zhang Yicheng, you're going to cause a loss of life. Stop fighting, it's about to cause human death. Zhang Yicheng finally slapped Jia Zhang's swollen face before releasing his hand. The immortal thing, as I just said, whoever dares to call and slander me will die. At this moment, Jia Zhang was completely dizzy and disoriented. If it weren't for Huairu rushing to help, I guess I fell to the ground. Zhang Yicheng, you injured my mother.In.law, you have to pay for it. At this time, Huairu said these words. Actually, I can't be too happy in my heart. Because of the girls from my own countryside. Found a man with a city household registration, Jia Zhangshi. Jia Zhang is usually very strict with herself. She often speaks sarcastically. Today, I saw my mother.In.law being drawn like this by Zhang Yicheng. Actually, I feel particularly happy in my heart. Even thinking that this dead old lady is really dead. Then her life will be easier. Why is it so lively today? At this moment, the deaf old lady living in the backyard appeared. Chapter 4. Our ancestors have spoken, how dare Zhang Yicheng? You are listening at novel.Audio. In the eyes of everyone. A middle-aged woman helped the deaf old lady out of the backyard. The deaf old lady came to He Yuzhu's side and asked with heartache. My good grandson, who did this go to? Madam, not only have the pillars been hit. And our old Yi was also beaten. And the neighboring Jia's sister.In.law was also beaten. When Auntie spoke, she stared fiercely at Zhang Yicheng. I feel that even if Zhang Yicheng is not afraid of He Yuzhu and Lao Yi now, This quadrangle is the treasure of the courtyard, and the deaf old lady must be wary of it. Old lady. He Yuzhu hesitated to speak. I feel very embarrassed. I am also a character in the courtyard. He was knocked down to the ground by Zhang Yicheng twice in a row. I feel like the people in the courtyard now. The way you look at yourself is not right. Old lady, you can't talk about him properly. A big mother is talking. He gave Zhang Yicheng a contemptuous glance. The old lady is present today. I dare not let him be reckless. Dare to touch the old lady. Take the old lady directly. Move to his house. Lie down there. Food, clothing, housing, and transportation. Not yet can Zhang Yicheng take care of it. The deaf old lady is not speaking now. I have determined the current form. Yi Zhonghai deducted Zhang Yicheng's father's pension. This matter is very serious. Not handled well. Yi Zhonghai will be caught in the bureau. Yi Zhonghai loves face a lot. Entering is equivalent to so many years. Accumulated reputation. All destroyed. He Yuzhu can also be considered a person walking horizontally in the courtyard. But now it has been replaced by Zhang Yicheng. I dare not make a sound while fighting. The old lady made a comprehensive judgment. I think we can't compete with Zhang Yi now. Alright, let's just forget about today's matter. Hear the old lady's words. Zhang Yicheng looked at the old lady as a chicken thief. Forget it. You said forget it. What qualifications do you have to say that? Regarding Zhang Yicheng's answer. The people present took a deep breath. The deaf old lady is inside the courtyard. It can be regarded as the most important person. The greatest in terms of seniority. In terms of seniority, it is the greatest. Another family member of the martyrs. I have also woven grass shoes for those who have crossed grasslands. My son also sacrificed heroically. It can be said that the deaf old lady. He is a witness to difficult times. It can be said that the deaf old lady. It is an authoritative presence within the courtyard. Even if Zhang Yicheng goes crazy again. We cannot disobey the deaf old lady's wishes. At this moment, He Yuzhu. Knowing that one's savior has arrived. Think about the grievances just now. Today we must unite with our ancestors. Send Zhang Yicheng to the classroom. He Yuzhu covered his swollen and red hand and approached. Open your sleeves and let the old lady take a closer look. The deaf old lady's eyes were filled with heartache. My good grandson, did he hit your hand like this? Zhang Yicheng, you must take my obedient grandson to the hospital for a check-up. Do you know that pillars are chefs, and how important hands are to them? The deaf old lady looked up at Yi Zhonghai who had fainted. Upon closer inspection, even Jia Zhang's face was swollen and blue. You can take them to the cell, take them to the hospital on your own. Upon hearing Zhang Yicheng's words. There are some differences in the deaf old lady at this time. When did Zhang Yicheng speak? It's so hard. Everyone in the courtyard speaks to themselves. They are all polite. And it's in a courtyard house. Zhang Yicheng belongs to the courtyard. I don't even have the right to speak. A lower-level resident. Dare to challenge yourself. At this moment, the deaf old lady squinted her eyes and looked at Zhang Yicheng. Did you find a support at the steel rolling mill? Or is there someone to support him? Just as the deaf old lady was puzzled. The surrounding crowd looked at each other in confusion. What kind of person is the deaf old lady? Today, Zhang Yicheng kicked the steel plate. How dare you challenge the ancestors of the courtyard house? The deaf old lady wants to step forward. I told you to hurry up. Send them to the hospital for examination. The old lady finished talking about the cane in her hand. Knocking loudly on the ground. As long as you take them to the hospital for treatment. I won't pursue today's matter. They all listen to me. I won't call the police to catch you. The old lady finished speaking. The yard is now quiet. Our ancestors have all spoken up. How dare Zhang Yicheng not comply? Zhang Yicheng in anger. Actually, it's already very convergent. If I had just killed myself. They three died on the spot. In this era, murder is illegal. Zhang Yicheng understands. So the force in hand. There was no surge of full force. Tell the deaf old lady. We need to take them to the hospital. Then I won't call the police and catch myself. Zhang Yicheng stared at the deaf old lady, looked up and down, raised his eyebrows, and spoke up. He Yuzhu was originally here to ambush me, what I did was self-defense. I'm not afraid of anything, whether it's a police station or a court trial. Jia Zhang slandered my reputation and cursed at me, and everyone at the scene heard me. I couldn't understand my anger by beating her a few big pussy bags. Even if I go to the police, I'm not afraid. Also, do you think I'm afraid of the police? You have to ask Yi Zhonghai, this embezzler is not afraid. Old lady, you're so old, why don't you respect your age? You come without distinction, want me to take someone to the hospital. Are you still threatening me? Do you think I'll be afraid of you? Zhang Yicheng finished speaking. The deaf old lady blinked her eyes. His face was full of incomprehensible writing. I am still an elder, no matter what. Since he claims to be disrespectful to the elderly. Before, deaf women used to talk about others. Parents are not kind, children are not filial. But no one has ever dared to talk to her like this. I didn't wait for the deaf old lady to speak. Zhang Yicheng looked at the people around him and reminded him. I know who will continue to spread rumors about me in the future. Just like the rest of them. I am not afraid of anything, Zhang Yicheng. Faced with Zhang Yicheng's sudden arrogance. The deaf old lady now. Realizing something was wrong. On weekdays, Zhang Yicheng. It's just a soft egg. But now it has changed a different way. Just now, a lady went to ask herself to explain the reason. The matter of Yi Zhonghai taking money has been defeated. Now not only is Zhang Yicheng holding on to it. He also attacked the people in the courtyard. You need to call the police. Actually, the deaf old lady is also. Scare Zhang Yicheng. It's really an alarm. I'm afraid it will come then. It will involve many people. From just now on, Zhang Yicheng. From the perspective of various behaviors. The deaf old lady knows. I can't clean up Zhang Yicheng today. I have to choose to retreat as a way forward. First, resolve this matter. Let's discuss together later, big guys. Zhang Yicheng, I think you misunderstood. The deaf old lady spoke with a face full of wrinkles and compassion. At this moment, Yi Zhonghai pretended to be unconscious. Hearing the old lady's words. Actually, he is very clear about it himself. Zhang Yi needs to report to the police for real. It is absolutely harmful to him without any benefit. Yi Zhonghai realized that the deaf old lady. I can't think of a good way to deal with Zhang Yicheng. Yicheng, it's all a misunderstanding. Yi Zhonghai covered his stomach. Struggling to get up from the ground. The deaf old lady looked at Yi Zhonghai. Lao Yi, you should have said this kind of thing earlier, so as not to cause such a misunderstanding. I was going to say it, but who knew Zhang Yicheng had such a bad temper? Before I could even speak, he gave me a knee in my stomach and almost sent me away. Yi Zhonghai knows what happened today. Not resolved. Not round back. Your own reputation. This life is ruined. Yi Zhonghai, do you remember now? Zhang Yicheng asked with a smile. Seeing that the deaf old lady couldn't do anything about herself, she decided to recruit all of them. This money was discussed at the time and will be used for your wedding when you grow up. So I only give you 6 yuan per month, and I have saved the rest for you. Zhang Yicheng looked at Yi Zhonghai and said, don't help me save it. I'll limit you to withdraw the money from me tomorrow. Ah. Is that all we have to do? Upon hearing this, Lu Haizhong thought that this matter would escalate. So the position of an old man is his own. But who knows? The old lady came out halfway. After being stirred up by the old lady. Let Yi Zhonghai kill a rebound gun. The matter has been resolved. Isn't that all for now? This is all a misunderstanding. Look at the commotion today. Yan Bugui, the three masters who are good at observing words and expressions. At this moment, he stepped forward and spoke to everyone. We are all neighbors of a courtyard house. It's not enough to make a fuss like this today, let outsiders see it as a joke. You need to hurry up and give this money to Zhang Yicheng, Yi Zhonghai. Hear Lu Haizhong's speech. Yi Zhonghai looked angrily at Zhang Yicheng on the side. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Hear Yi Zhonghai's words. Zhang Yicheng nodded in agreement. Get the money back first. Deal with this hypocrite again. Let him also taste the complete ruin of his reputation. The taste of the old mouse crossing the street and everyone shouting and fighting. Thinking of this, Zhang Yicheng smiled and looked at Yi Zhonghai. Yi Zhonghai, I won't be able to get the money tomorrow morning. I'll go to the factory office right away to expose your behavior, you can handle it yourself. Heard Zhang Yicheng's threat. Yi Zhonghai gritted his teeth and nodded in agreement. Neighbors, take a look. It turned out to be a misunderstanding and then going back to my own home. Returning home, Yi Zhonghai. A middle-aged woman lifted the old man's clothes. I saw a big bruise on my stomach. I couldn't help but curse. This cockroach is simply the curse of our courtyard house. If we have him, our courtyard won't stop. Hey, he caught the handle. There's nothing we can do, otherwise we'll have to call the police and catch him today. Old man, shouldn't all the money saved over the past few years be given to that cockroach? What's the solution? Don't give it to him, you saw it today too. Hey. Hey. A middle-aged woman let out a sigh. Yi Zhonghai also sighed. I will definitely not let this kid go. Yi Zhonghai punched the table, venting his frustration today. I will make this kid pay the price for this matter. Chapter 5. Yi Zhonghai and Zhang Yicheng fall to the heavenly gang, Tai Sui. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Yi Zhonghai is now full of anger. I didn't expect Zhang Yicheng to be usually useless. Surprisingly, he dared to challenge himself in front of everyone. A middle-aged woman looked at the old man with a face full of anger. Knowing today's events has had a significant impact on the old man. Old man, don't be angry. Didn't Zhang Yicheng go to work at the steel rolling mill? He's within your sphere of influence, can't you still deal with him? Don't make yourself angry. I heard a big mother's words. Yi Zhonghai waved his hand. How could I possibly hold a grudge against him? I'm just wondering why this kid changed today. I'm really unfamiliar with this kid's performance today. Hear the old man's words. The old lady nodded and sat on the stool. I also find it strange, like a new Zhang Yicheng. You said he used to be like a street mouse and everyone shouted and beat him. He's too big to take a breath, anyone can step on him. Why are you so big today that you dare to fight silly pillars? Yi Zhonghai listened to a woman's words. It's too strange. It's really strange. The old lady frowned. Zhang Yicheng went to the steel rolling mill today, did he meet old Zhang's acquaintance? Do you have a backup? How dare you challenge us? I really didn't notice this kid before, he has such great energy. Yi Zhonghai believes that the old lady. That makes sense. You should know the former Zhang Yicheng. The presence in the courtyard is very low. Anyone can step on it. Today was such a commotion. Yi Zhonghai can be considered clear. How much does Zhang Yicheng weigh? Someone probably said something to him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have the courage to resist us. Dang. At this moment, there was a knocking sound on the door of Yi Zhonghai's house. Who is it? A middle-aged woman frowned and asked. Aunt, I'm the third uncle. The voice of Yan Bugui came from outside. A middle-aged woman glanced at Yi Zhonghai. Yi Zhonghai nodded. Wait, said the elderly woman. A middle-aged woman got up and walked over to open the door. Seeing more than just the third master Yan Bugui standing at the door. Next to him, there are also two elders with bangs and Jia Zhang's family present. Look at these three people. What's up with you? The old lady was taken aback. The saying goes, no matter what. It's okay to say it alone. Three people come together. What is going on? Let them come in and talk. The opening of Yi Zhonghai inside the house. Auntie just stepped aside. Let three people come in together. At this moment, Silly Pillar appeared behind the three of them. Also come and discuss things with an old man. Everyone is here. What's going on today? Everyone come to my house. Grandpa finished speaking. Call Silly Pillar into the house. Close the door, by the way. A big mother turned on the electric light. Watching everyone present remain silent. Actually, Auntie probably knows. Why do these people come to their own homes? It must be for the abnormal Zhang Yicheng. Let's discuss countermeasures together. The old lady watched as everyone remained silent. Then he spoke to Jia Zhang. Jia's sister. Law, what are you here for? A group of people at this time. All focus on Jia Zhang's body. The purpose of Jia Zhang's visit this time. Actually, it's to repay Zhang Yicheng. The incident of slapping her came about. Jia Zhang is in this courtyard. I have lived for over 20 years. I haven't experienced such great injustice yet. And the matter of an old man taking Zhang Yicheng's father's salary. Jia Zhang wants to get a share of the soup. This kind of thing happened today. Zhang Yicheng almost destroyed the courtyard. Heavyweight figures are offended. Jia Zhang knows the people present. Half of them hate Zhang Yicheng to the bone. Jia Zhang understands the big guy's intentions. Talking naturally also brings up this matter. Jia Zhang watched as everyone looked at him. So he cleared his throat and looked at everyone. Everyone has seen today's incident. Zhang Yi looks like a crazy dog. Not only did he hit an old man, but he even hit a pillar. And even hit me, the person who tried to persuade me, since Zhang Yicheng is so lawless. As the main speaker of the courtyard house. Shouldn't we teach this kid a lesson? When everyone heard this, they really hit the nail on the head. It is rare for Jia Zhang to say such words that are conducive to unity. The conversation was spread out on the surface. Everyone sitting expressed their opinions one after another. My opinion on Zhang Yicheng's situation. Second uncle's bangs are in the middle. Glancing at the old man. Ask knowingly. Lao Yi, Zhang Yicheng's money is not a small amount, are you really saving it for him? Upon hearing these words. Aunt Yi is no longer willing. Second grandpa, what do you mean? Does our old Yi really appreciate Zhang Yicheng's dead money? The second uncle shook his head in the bangs. Aunt, that's not what I meant. I'm just trying to make amends for grandpa. This Zhang Yicheng really doesn't understand the thrifty mentality of the older generation. You are kind enough to save money for him, thinking about giving it to him when he marries his wife in the future. But he is indiscriminate. I feel unworthy of treating you like this. I heard what the second uncle said. Jia Zhang's pitiful gaze. Looking at Yi Zhonghai. That's right, this Yicheng is just a white-eyed wolf, you bastard. I don't respect my elders, now I'm spouting feces all over my mouth. If anyone doesn't like me, I'll hit them. Jia Zhang finished speaking. He Yuzhu covered his still painful wrist. I only realized it when I went back just now. My wrist has swollen up. I think this kid is tired of living. Can you tell me what this kid used to be like? Now he dares to fight us, this damn thing. He Yuzhu can be said to be the king of the earth in the courtyard. Who dares to challenge him? Today, I am in front of everyone. Zhang Yicheng actually fought with him, and he also suffered a lot. After returning, He Yuzhu. After much thought, I couldn't swallow this breath. Yan Bugui saw everyone express their opinions. When such a thing happened during the day, Zhang Yicheng completely ignored the three of us. I used to feel pitiful when I saw this kid being bullied. It turns out he's just pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger. This kid has been holding on for so long, only to explode today. You said this kid has been lying on the payroll and trying his luck for such a long time. How deep is his scheming? According to Yan Bugui's words. Grandpa Lu Haizhong nodded in agreement. This kid really didn't notice how deep his mind was. I used to do whatever I wanted, but that kid remained silent. Now he dares to take action against an old man. This kid can't stay. That's right, I just can't stay. This kid must get out of the courtyard. Jia and Zhang reached the point. Present your ideas immediately. Actually, if Zhang Yicheng gets out of the courtyard, his side room belongs to their family. Easy, as you can see today, that kid brought back so many things and couldn't pinpoint where he stole them. As long as anyone's belongings in our courtyard house are missing, we will go to Zhang Yicheng's house to find them. When the time comes, someone will take the stolen goods and catch them, and we will directly blow away Zhang Yicheng. He Yuzhu finished speaking seriously. The people on site widened their eyes. I didn't expect it to come from the mouth of the silly pillar. Speak words of such skill. It seems that Zhang Yicheng hit the jackpot today. They have completely formed a bond. Chapter 6. In the battle between the tigers of China and the sea, one must die. You are listening at novelfull.audio. So who did this? Hear Jia Zhang's words. 3 gentlemen. Take a glance. At a glance. Look at the other person. I always feel that. As a master of a courtyard house. It's not good to do it yourself. No matter who does this. In front of the other 2 people. They will leave behind arguments. An old man looked at He Yuzhu. Thinking about this matter. Since it was you, He Yuzhu, who brought it up. So this matter. He Yuzhu must come personally. Jia Zhang, who was observing her words and expressions on the side. Understand that the 3 masters cannot take action. Next, there is an old man. Give yourself a wink. Pillar, this matter. You still need to do it yourself. Jia Zhang stared at He Yuzhu. You think it's not very convenient for 3 gentlemen to take action. If you do it yourself, that would be great, wouldn't it? After all, Zhang Yicheng hit you with his own hands. Don't you also have to teach him a lesson? Listen to Jia Zhang. He Yuzhu nodded naturally and understood. I know 3 gentlemen, it's inconvenient to take action, so rest assured. I, He Yuzhu, will seek revenge if I have any grudges. Since it is something that the 3 masters have tacitly agreed to. I, He Yuzhu, will definitely give Zhang Yicheng a good look. He Yuzhu finished speaking with a fiery expression on his face. Sandiyi Yan Bugui smiled. We're old and useless, we still need young people to handle these things. The second uncle spoke in his bangs. Pillar, it's best for you to handle this matter. It's not convenient for the 3 of us to take action. Yi Zhonghai finished speaking. Pillar, if this is done, don't worry, I will definitely introduce you to a good girl. The matter finally came to an agreement. He Yuzhu planted Zhang Yicheng. Then a person from the scene took the stolen goods and caught them. All right. Since the matter has been settled, then we'll go back. Jia Zhang smiled and patted her buttocks before leaving. Lu Haizhong also stood up, stretching lazily, watching He Yuzhu and Jia Zhang leave. Looking back at Yi Zhonghai and Yan Bugui. This kind of thing still needs to be dealt with by silly Zhu. Don't worry about what went wrong. That's also silly Zhu taking responsibility alone. Well, I know, we just need to know about it ourselves. Yi Zhonghai breathed a sigh as he looked at the back of the silly pillar outside the courtyard. Actually, for the prickly stick of silly pillar, the three masters couldn't do anything about him. If two tigers compete now, there will inevitably be a mistake. Whether it's Zhang Yicheng or He Yuzhu, fighting between the two is beneficial for both of them. Regarding Jia Zhang's proposal, Yi Zhonghai also knows. The Jia family is looking for another room. Now even if you hold your own, some people have also contributed to the trouble of finding Zhang Yicheng. Doing such things without getting involved is the best way. After a brief analysis, Yi Zhonghai thought there was a good show to watch. Only when Zhang Yicheng is exhausted can he calm down. Lao Yi, when did He Yuzhu take action? Aunt Yi is truly a virtuous assistant to Yi Zhonghai. Just a glance reveals what my spouse is thinking. You can see it clearly. My spouse seems to have a solution. Don't look at people like that, silly pillar. He's also a ruthless person when he's ruthless. Let him go find Zhang Yicheng's trouble, we just need to stir up trouble on the side. After Yi Zhonghai finished speaking, his stomach hurt again. This kick from Zhang Yicheng really hurts me. Old man, I'll go get you a painkiller. A big mother stood up with heartache. At this moment, Zhang Yicheng was at home, looking at the empty home. This corner room is neither translucent nor breathable, and it is dark and damp. The room was filled with a very unpleasant odor. Can't disperse for a long time. Just living in this environment, living for a few more years is likely to result in illness and death. Zhang Yicheng looked around. I want to open a window for my family. This way, the air can circulate. Looking at the food and cloth tickets on the table. Something to eat. Zhang Yicheng opened the cabinet and took out paper and pen. Start calculating how much money Yi Zhonghai has coveted from him. Over time. During these 8 years, Zhang Yicheng came up with an astonishing number. More than 2,140 yuan. More than 2,000 yuan. There must be no problem using it to improve life. And now in my own hands. There are still a lot of tickets and money. After Zhang Yi has calculated everything. Thinking of the commotion with the people in the courtyard today. According to the urine characteristics of these animals, I will definitely find myself in trouble. Just thinking about this. Zhang Yicheng is very relaxed. I have my own system in place. I also know many secrets about these beasts. Dealing with these people is effortless. Early the next morning, Zhang Yicheng got up early. When going out, I saw Yi Zhonghai. Yi Zhonghai saw Zhang Yicheng. A smiling face followed closely behind. Yi Zhonghai licked his face and said with a smile. Yicheng, why are you walking so fast? Yi Zhonghai, have you brought your passbook with you? If I don't get the money today, I'll have to report it. Zhang Yicheng doesn't care so much. Just mentioning reporting a case. Yi Zhonghai's face was noticeably flustered. I brought it, of course I did, I brought it. I've already said this is a misunderstanding. If you had asked me from the beginning, I would have given you the money long ago. Listen to Yi Zhonghai's words. Zhang Yicheng felt even more so. This Yi Zhonghai is extremely hypocritical. He probably forgot about yesterday. For Yi Zhonghai, he stared at what he was saying with a smile on his face. Zhang Yicheng enters the right ear and exits the left ear. Treat it all as mosquitoes chirping. For someone like you who constantly calculates others. A hypocrite who disrespects the elderly and lies incessantly. This kind of person's words are completely untrustworthy. Yi Zhonghai, I will do what I say. If I don't receive the money this morning, I will go to the police at noon. Bring the police comrades to the steel rolling mill to find you. After speaking, Zhang Yicheng quickly walked forward and left. Around disgusting things like Yi Zhonghai. I feel a foul odor in the air I breathe. Yi Zhonghai watched Zhang Yicheng leave quickly. At this moment, his heart was restless and angry. If I had known I wouldn't have given these $6, I would have died. On the way, Zhang Yicheng remembered Yi Zhonghai's smiling face. Thinking about him taking out over 2,000 yuan. Once you have the money, you must buy food, drink, and clothing carefully. In this era, worker wages. Most of them only cost 15 or 16 yuan per month. The taller one is He Yuzhu in the kitchen. The salary is around 20 yuan. Senior workers like Yi Zhonghai. A monthly salary of around 90 yuan. Everyone has such a high salary income. He is also greedy for his father's salary. This person must not be underestimated. We must make two preparations. Since coming into this world, these people all treat themselves as soft persimmons. Zhang Yicheng decided not to get used to these people. Just do whatever you need and follow the process. It is Yi Zhonghai who does not speak of martial arts ethics. When dealing with bad people, one cannot be soft-hearted. Soon, Zhang Yicheng arrived at the steel rolling mill. Report Yi Zhonghai to the HR department as soon as possible. Chapter 7. Reporting Yi Zhonghai for embezzlement of pension funds, foolish pillar. You are listening at novel.Audio. Zhang Yicheng knocked on the door and entered the personnel department. Director Zhang happens to be working at his desk. Xiao Zhang, did you come quite early? Director Zhang lowered his eyes and looked at Zhang Yicheng. Director, I want to report it. Zhang Yicheng made a report. Director Zhang was immediately stunned. Do you want to report it? Who did you report? Director Zhang watched as people came in. Pick up the teacup on the table. Enter the inner room office to speak. Say it. Zhang Yicheng followed Director Zhang. Come into the office together. After closing the door, Director Zhang looked at Zhang Yicheng. Who did you report? Report Yi Zhonghai. What? Director Zhang thought he heard it wrong. The entire steel rolling mill. A senior worker with a higher salary. Director Zhang is quite clear. In Director Zhang's impression, Yi Zhonghai is a level 8 worker. He is upright and very kind. Annual selection of outstanding employees in the workshop. There must be Yi Zhonghai. And I also heard about Yi Zhonghai. The one in the courtyard is still the steward. A gentleman like Yi Zhonghai. Zhang Yicheng said he wants to report him. To be honest, Director Zhang, I'm interested. I don't know Zhang Yicheng either. What happened to Yi Zhonghai? Can you tell me what he did? Zhang Yicheng looked at Director Zhang. Raise your hand like a racing performance. Wiped my eyes. Director Zhang took a look. Why did Zhang Yicheng still cry? Now my expression became serious. Don't be afraid, tell me what happened. Director, the only one I can believe is you. Upon hearing Zhang Yicheng's words, the director put down the enamel cup in his hand. Child, don't be afraid. After speaking, Director Zhang picked up the thermos. I poured a cup of hot tea for Zhang Yicheng. Take a sip first, and then we'll talk about what's going on. Zhang Yicheng took the teacup from Director Zhang's hand. In the early spring of the 49th city in the morning, it feels chilly. Zhang Yicheng took another sip of hot tea. Only then did he reveal his brief experience. It's like this. My father sacrificed his life for the steel rolling mill. The factory allows Yi Zhonghai to receive monthly compensation. Actually, Yi Zhonghai only gives me 6 yuan per month. Ah. Director Zhang heard about it. Big eyes stared at small eyes and immediately asked. Are you serious? Really? Zhang Yi took over the conversation immediately after the establishment. No wonder you kept asking me about my salary that day. Does anyone else know about this? Yi Zhonghai knows, I told him. If he doesn't give me the remaining money, I'll report him to the factory office. Director Zhang heard this. My eyebrows furrowed. I can't help but cry and laugh. Sure enough, young people still do things without the brain. If this matter is true. So I told Yi Zhonghai. Then he will definitely take precautions. Face-to-face confrontation. Yi Zhonghai said. Give it all to Zhang Yicheng. The matter becomes complicated. Young people lack social experience. Ask him directly. Think of this. Director Zhang understands Zhang Yicheng's concerns. How much does it cost in total? Director Zhang asked tentatively. More than 2,000 in total, answered Zhang Yicheng. 2,000. So much. You need to know your current salary income. A regular worker's salary. It's less than 20. This is around 20 yuan. It was earned by working hard overtime. Except for things like Yi Zhonghai. A job with a senior professional title. More than 10,000 employees of the fully rolled steel plant. There are only a few hundred people with senior professional titles. Don't worry. Since you told me about this matter, I will naturally take care of it. Director Zhang really didn't expect it. Yi Zhonghai looks like a real person. Actually, I took it secretly. Zhang Yi has so much money to start a family. More than 2,000 yuan. It's not a small number. In this era. 1 month's salary. A salary of around 20 yuan. We can all support a large family now. But now at the steel rolling mill. We are currently in a special stage. This matter needs to be exposed. May have an impact on the factory. Since you told Yi Zhonghai. Why did Yi Zhonghai make a statement? He said he will give it to me today. So what do you mean? Director Zhang didn't understand what Zhang Yicheng meant. What I mean is, Yi Zhonghai tricked me. Can Yi Zhonghai handle it at the steel rolling mill? Yi Zhonghai is a senior worker. If Yi Zhonghai refunds you the money, that can only be said to cancel his future excellent role model. And I have to consult with the factory director to make a decision on this matter, which is very complicated. But I can guarantee that you will receive every penny of your money. After speaking, Director Zhang opened the door and spoke to the people outside who were doing business. Shaoli, please bring me the entry and exit book for the honorary family allowance. Say it. Director Zhang turned to look at Zhang Yicheng. According to your meaning. From the beginning, Yi Zhonghai only gave you 6 yuan in money. That's right, it's like this. I know now, it's getting late. Hurry up and go to the cafeteria to work. I'll call you again if you have anything to do. Okay, thank you, Director. Well, go ahead. Director Zhang watched as Zhang Yicheng left. You go to the first workshop and call Yi Zhonghai for me. Zhang Yicheng walked towards the cafeteria as soon as he left the office. Just entered the kitchen in the cafeteria. Zhang Yicheng saw He Yuzhu at first glance. He Yuzhu was originally a smiling face. Seeing Zhang Yi's establishment with a crotch and face. You left early in the morning, where did you slack off? I'll tell you, come to the cafeteria now. This is my jurisdiction, I have good days to live under. Regarding the threat from He Yuzhu, Zhang Yicheng's face remained unchanged. Look at He Yuzhu. Are you threatening me? No, I mean I'll give you a good day. He Yuzhu smiled and hung his bib. At this moment, the door curtain came in. A woman with a ponytail. Master He, you came so early. Is this the new one? Lu Lan spoke and watched as Zhang Yicheng continued to speak. My name is Lu Lan. If you have anything you don't understand, just ask me. Lu Lan, who asked you to take him? He Yuzhu tightened his bib. Now Lu Lan blinks her eyes. I didn't understand what He Yuzhu meant. Sister Lu Lan, you don't need to talk to him. Anyway, I don't want to work in the kitchen either. After Zhang Yicheng finished speaking, he did not forget to add. I went early this morning to talk about Yi Zhonghai. Also, I have priority in choosing job positions for my job. I am an honorary family member of the steel rolling mill. It's you, be careful when you talk to me. He Yuzhu is about to get angry. Suddenly asked in a daze. What do you say you're going to talk about Yi Zhonghai? He Yuzhu widened his eyes, feeling impossible. Did Zhang Yi really go to the factory office to report Yi Zhonghai? I went to the factory office to report Yi Zhonghai. You're not joking with me, are you? He Yuzhu was very surprised. This matter is causing a stir. Yi Zhonghai will definitely be fired. Am I joking? I never joke. Upon hearing Zhang Yicheng's words, He Yuzhu's mouth widened in surprise. I was stunned and lost my mind. This little rabbit. It can be considered as Yi Zhonghai. My whole life has been ruined. While He Yuzhu was surprised, Yi Zhonghai came to Director Zhang's office. Chapter 8. Yi Zhonghai breaks defense, feeling painful like. You are listening at novel.Audio. Yi Zhonghai is waiting in the office. My mood is up and down now. What are you calling yourself to this place for? The current Yi Zhonghai. The only thing that comes to mind is. Zhang Yicheng came here to report himself. But I agreed to it myself. Give him all the money. Also, the director of the factory said this. What does this mean again? Since everyone has promised to give it to you. Why bother yourself? The current Yi Zhonghai brain melon is spinning rapidly. I knew this money earlier. Initially, Zhang Yicheng was directly asked to collect it himself. I didn't expect to lift the stone. The matter of hitting one's own foot. I really encountered it. Now even if you give the money to Zhang Yicheng, your own reputation, it is highly likely to be affected. Yi Zhonghai is an excellent model worker and worker almost every year. These honors can allow Yi Zhonghai to enjoy special treatment. If the matter really falls under Zhang Yicheng's control, add fuel and vinegar to tell Director Zhang. The matter became troublesome. What can be done now? Bite a dead end. This money was only given when Zhang Yi grew up. At this point, the person who pushed the door in, Director Zhang. Bring in a thick salary book. Master Yi, are you here? Director Zhang. What are you looking for me for? Yi Zhonghai asked calmly. Master Yi, I'm looking for you. You should know what's going on, right? At this point, Yi Zhonghai can be determined. Just like what I think. Zhang Yicheng, who has been beaten 1,000 times, has come to accuse himself. I'm not sure, didn't you say you came to me for something? Yi Zhonghai continued to reply by pretending to be ignorant. Watching Yi Zhonghai deny it. Zhang Yicheng came to my office today. Report that you held his father's pension and refused to give it to him. Ah. I thought it was something. This is all a misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding. Yi Zhonghai smiled and got along with it. Director Zhang, the situation is like this. Take 6 yuan a month and give it to Zhang Yicheng. I saved all the remaining money for him. Think about Zhang Yicheng being so young back then. Can this child use such a large sum of money with him? Hear Yi Zhonghai's words. Director Zhang didn't delve into it either. Listen to Yi Zhonghai's casual words. Director Zhang is not so easy to fool, as he looked at Yi Zhonghai and said. Master Yi, you are already an old man from the steel rolling mill. Retired in just a few years, there shouldn't be anything damaging to our reputation. I will calculate Zhang Yicheng's money in detail. Since he started working at the steel rolling mill, this money will be included in Zhang Yicheng's salary. Yi Zhonghai Yi Ting. The director did not pursue this matter. A lucky reply. Director, this is actually a misunderstanding. I plan to tell him in the next few days. Anyway, you have to give the money to Zhang Yicheng today and ask him to come to me for a second time. Then I really have to report to the factory office. If we disturb Director Yang and the board of directors, things will be difficult to handle. Yi Zhonghai quickly nodded and agreed. Director, don't worry. I'll take half a day off now and specifically go to the savings office to withdraw money. Give the money to Zhang Yicheng as soon as possible. Lest he worry about this money and trouble you again. Director Zhang is also a person who observes words and expressions. I can hear the meaning of Yi Zhonghai. Think about Yi Zhonghai's tone of speech. I guess if Zhang Yicheng is unaware of the truth, this money is probably going into Yi Zhonghai's bag. However, Zhang Yicheng is still quite clever. Know how to find the factory office to retrieve this money. I probably know that Yi Zhonghai won't take it out. Yi Zhonghai is expected to be fired. Now Yi Zhonghai earns a monthly salary of 99%. Actually, it won't take a few years. Saving a few thousand yuan is a very easy thing. Think of these. Director Zhang spoke up. Be a good person and do things with conscience. You haven't done a good job, hurry up and take a leave, then give the money to Zhang Yicheng. Don't worry, Director. I'll go back and take a leave. Later, I'll go to the savings office and withdraw the money to Zhang Yicheng. Everything has come to this point. Yi Zhonghai had to give the money to Zhang Yicheng. After speaking, leave the office. After taking half a day off from work for the workshop director. The workshop director is very curious. Lao Yi, what happened? You've never been like this before, have you ever left your job? Director, the old lady at home is not feeling well. I'm really worried that she's at home alone, I want to go home and see. By the way, buy some medicine. Don't worry, I'll be back to work soon. Master Yi, it's not a problem for you to take a whole day off. It's important to hurry back and take care of others. Yi Zhonghai quickly nodded. It's okay, half a day is enough. I will come back as soon as possible and definitely not delay work. Please take your leave. Yi Zhonghai carried a savings book in his pocket to withdraw money. It took an hour. Yi Zhonghai returned with a brand new unity. Zhang Yicheng in the cafeteria. Still washing vegetables in the sink. Yi Zhonghai came to the kitchen. Ask Zhang Yicheng to go out and talk. Zhang Yicheng, I haven't moved a penny of this money, even with interest. A total of 2,648 yuan and 35 cents. All this money is in this sack, you count it clearly. You must take good care of it, okay? Zhang Yicheng took it from Yi Zhonghai's hand in the corner. Open the burlap bag. I saw a pile of great unity inside. The knot tied with fine hemp rope is sturdy and solid. Draw out a bundle of money. They are all brand new unity. Bundled neatly and tightly. Zhang Yicheng held it in his hand. Leaned up to the tip of my nose and sniffed. All are brand new money. Zhang Yicheng roughly counted the money he received. No difference at all. Glancing at Yi Zhonghai. You can tell this terrible old man. My eyes are filled with reluctance. Staring at the money with great pain. Grandpa, I really want to thank you. It's thanks to you for saving it for me. If I were to hold it myself, I would definitely spend everything every month without leaving a penny. Zhang Yicheng said. Intentionally using money as a fan. Fan several times in front of Yi Zhonghai. This can make Yi Zhonghai envious. Feeling both regretful and painful. Facial expression management. It's almost impossible to maintain. After receiving the money and watching Yi Zhonghai leave. The voice of Zhang Yicheng's emotional system rang out in a series in his mind. Congratulations to the host for obtaining various emotions from Yi Zhonghai. Now activate various rewards. Congratulations to the host for opening the portable storage space. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a bottle of body strengthening potion. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 20 national food stamps. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a 50-pound meat ticket. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10 pounds of beef. At this moment, the sound in Zhang Yicheng's mind kept ringing. Especially for portable storage space. Zhang Yicheng thinks this is very impressive. Later, Zhang Yicheng tried and put a sack of money in his hand into his personal storage space. Suddenly, a sack of money disappeared and immediately appeared in the personal space. Well, it's quite convenient. Chapter 9. Qinhuai present strategies to He Yuzhu, dealing with Zhang Yicheng. You are listening at novel full.audio. At this time, the old factory building of the steel rolling mill was abandoned. Huairu has big, watery eyes. Watching Su Dumao is hot and dry. Jia, you want to use my food receipt again. Su Dumao looked at the abundant Huairu. Pretending to be difficult. In fact, for Su Dumao, food stamps are important. There are too many at home. Every time I come back from playing movies in the countryside. Those rural people. They will give themselves some benefits. Su Dumao can say. There is nothing lacking. There is a shortage of women. Dumao, you know I'm a woman's family. We need to raise 3 children and a wicked mother. In law. You and Lu Xiaoyi are the only ones in your family. Besides, Lu Xiaoyi's family is not poor either. You guys have food, clothing, and other expenses. Isn't Lu Xiaoyi's family also helping your family? Can you just help my sister's family? This is it for once. Jia, I have helped you many times. My family has objections to me helping you. I'm under pressure to help you. Huairu listened to Su Dumao's words. Pretending to be confused while trying to understand. Dumao, there is still some time before the salary is paid this time. Just help your sister. After speaking. Huairu reached out and pinched Su Dumao's shoulder. Jia, you also know how strict our daughter.In law is. Besides, our family supports your family every month. People around are gossiping about my family. Tell me what our relationship is. Su Dumao spoke. Sweeping around without anyone around. My courage has also increased. Raise your hand and pull down Huairu's hand. Su Dumao smelled it. Jia always has a fragrant scent on her body. Huairu knows. I won't give Su Dumao any sweet treats today. Su Dumao won't help. What's going on? Your wife hasn't let you touch her recently, has she? Huairu spoke. A frivolous raise of the hand. Gentle. I took a photo. The back of Su Dumao's hand. What did you do? Huairu spoke frivolously. My Qin sister, can you help me? Su Dumao spoke and lifted his pants. What did you do? This is a factory. Huairu reached out to stop. Su Dumao's next move. My Qin sister, this time I'll give you more food vouchers. Su Dumao made Huairu so angry. Huairu immediately spoke up, that's what you said. I want a national grain receipt of 20 pounds, plus a bag of fine grains. My Qin sister, you're starting from scratch. Su Damao frowned and felt that it was too expensive. Then you go find someone else. Qin Huairu raised her eyebrows and said. Su Damao took a deep breath. Qin, you still know how to do business. It is already noontime. Zhang Yicheng feels that the work in this kitchen. Not suitable for oneself. Do it for half a day. Zhang Yi wants to have a fight with silly Zhu. Think about what Director Zhang said. There are currently no suitable positions available. Zhang Yicheng, are you lazy? Hurry up and brush these bowls clean. Ma Hua watched Zhang Yicheng slack off. Follow the master's instructions. Find more things to do for Zhang Yicheng. At this moment, the kitchen door curtain is lifted. Zhang Yicheng turned around to take a look. Qin Huairu and He Yuzhu. Standing at the door, looking at myself. Did you see that? Washed the dishes, you're so good. He Yuzhu stared at Zhang Yicheng. It's true that he fell into your hands, and you can really vent your anger. Qin Huairu lowered the curtain and He Yuzhu. Walking on the tree-lined path of the steel rolling mill. Qin Jia, when do you think your cousin will come and meet me? He Yuzhu is anxious about his own life. When Qin Huairu got married before. He Yuzhu has met a cousin of the Qinhuai family. It looks so watery. If it could be so beautiful. A girl with a water spirit gets married. He Yuzhu thought about being single for such a long time. It's not worth it either. I have already sent a letter back to ask. The other girls don't respond. I can't do anything about it either. He Yuzhu listened to the meaning. It is estimated that there will be benefits again. Only in this way can we push forward. Life events. Huairu, I'm the only one in my family now, and my sister hardly comes back. Recently someone sent me 20 or so duck eggs. The salted duck egg made of them are delicious. He Yuzhu thought of last time. Qinhuai wants duck eggs. As a reason for leaving rainwater. Refused. Thinking that my younger sister is about to graduate. After graduation, we also need to get married. It's important to quickly arrange your marriage. I can't bear to part with duck eggs. Unable to find a wife. This time, it's all for Qinhuairu's family. Qinhuairu listened to that duck egg. He Yuzhu hasn't eaten yet. I am very happy in my heart. I'll take the duck eggs, and I'll get my sister 20 pounds of fine grain, okay? You also know that there are 3 children in our family, and now children eat a lot. He Yuzhu is speechless. I paid for the duck egg. It still needs to be delivered. 20 pounds of fine grain. Qin Jia, your children's meals are really incomparable. Listening to what He Yuzhu said, Qin Huairu smiled. I may take your things for nothing, sister. I will naturally give you a benefit. Benefits. He Yuzhu became excited and quickly asked, what's good? To be frank, do you want to deal with Zhang Yicheng? He Yuzhu nodded repeatedly and said, no one knows me better than Qin Jia. Since last time I was replaced by Zhang Yicheng. I fought in front of everyone. The thought of this made He Yuzhu extremely angry. Over the years, he has been bullying others. There hasn't been anyone bullying him yet. Zhang Yicheng caused himself to lose face in front of everyone. He Yuzhu has always remembered this grudge. Upon hearing Qinhuai mention this matter, He Yuzhu is so angry. He Yuzhu grew up from childhood to adulthood. They are all walking horizontally in the courtyard. He hasn't lost in the fight yet. Let Zhang Yicheng fight like that. He couldn't swallow this breath. Just thinking about that. He Yuzhu grinned. Pointed to the mouth. Take out one of my teeth. I wish I had all his teeth pulled out. Qinhuai could tell what happened last time. Let He Yuzhu lose someone in the courtyard. Men always save face. Estimate He Yuzhu's stone head. I can't think of a good solution. Provide He Yuzhu with advice and advice this time. It can bring many benefits. Just pity Zhang Yicheng. Completely burnt at a young age. As long as Zhang Yicheng is expelled from the courtyard. So his house. It's not my own family anymore. The so-called wealth insurance seeks. Huairu saw no one around. Whisper in He Yuzhu's ear. The hot and humid words made He Yuzhu tremble all over. After listening to Huairu's words, He Yuzhu nodded and said. Jia must be smart. Chapter 10. Huairu's End Plan. Raising a Fish Pond. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. If you really know me, Sister Qin. He Yuzhu didn't think of a suitable solution. Come and pick up Zhang Yicheng. Today in the cafeteria. He Yuzhu looked at Zhang Yicheng more and more. The more I want to have my disciples beat him. But when I think of Zhang Yicheng, this kid. Even strength can do for oneself. It's probably not possible to let the apprentice go either. Just instructing the disciples. Run on Zhang Yicheng. Anyway, He Yuzhu doesn't want to. I have been seeing Zhang Yicheng in the cafeteria. We must come up with a solution. Let Zhang Yicheng take the initiative to say he won't work in the cafeteria. Easy, just think about it. Zhang Yicheng's reputation is already bad now. What do you say to make things worse? Make him unable to turn over in his lifetime. I can't even stay in the entire 49 cities. Huairu sneered and looked at He Yuzhu. He Yuzhu frowned and said, really? Huairu pursed her lips and smiled. Isn't it catching hooligans now? I brought my close-fitting clothes into his house. You said we should call a few more people to collect the stolen goods and catch him on the spot. Do you think his reputation will resound throughout the entire 49 cities? Will he go to jail? Will he still have the face to stay in our courtyard house after he comes out? Hear the meaning of Qinhuairu. He Yuzhu nodded repeatedly. He hates Zhang Yicheng. I think this kid. Unclean hands and feet. There have been several times when there was a shortage of things at home. He Yuzhu opened one eye and closed the other. It was only because Zhang Yicheng went too far that he punished him. Until yesterday. Zhang Yicheng's hands on approach. To be honest. He Yuzhu didn't expect it. Zhang Yicheng is so good at fighting. I never expected it at all. Zhang Yicheng's temperament will undergo significant changes. Surprisingly, they even beat up the 3 giants of their courtyard house. Even Mr. Zhang Yi dared to strike. That's all for now. Listen, He Yuzhu agrees. Qinhuairu continued. I sacrificed so much for you this time. Just give me some salted duck egg. Jia, don't worry. As long as it can calm down this time. I'll take care of your lunchbox for a year in the future. That's what I said. Qinhuairu quickly answered the conversation. The temptation of a whole year's cafeteria lunchbox is too great. Every time He Yuzhu brings home his lunchbox, there is meat. I haven't eaten the dishes made by He Yuzhu for a long time. Actually, the Qinhuairu family feels uncomfortable. Jia, this is the deal. The two of them discussed for a while before separating. Qinhuairu placed her hands on her hips, watching He Yuzhu leave. Turning around, I saw Guadapisi not far away. Qinhuairu was about to say hello. Guadapisi turned around and left. Qinhuairu quickly caught up with him. Hey, why do you just run away from me? Guadapisi stopped. Just now he saw it. Qinhuairu and He Yuzhu were chatting and laughing. Walking so close. Guadapisi feels very uncomfortable. Qinhuairu came to Guadapisi's side. A playful tilted head looked at him. Oh, are you jealous? This He Yuzhu is just my neighbor. Guadapisi didn't give Huairu a good face. Look around and see no one around. Pulling Huairu aside. What did your mother.in.law say? When can we handle our affairs together? Listen to Guadapisi's words. Huairu rubbed her fingers in grievance and lowered her head. What else can I do? My mother.in.law disagrees and says I'll follow you. Having your child would be bad for her family's children. You also know how my current job came about. I don't want to lose such a good job. I think our relationship is quite good now. Don't worry, I will take care of your child and you. Guadapisi finished speaking. Huairu extended her finger. Press on the heart of Guadapisi. Getting married is a matter for two people, and I think the salary for this job is also suitable. It's just that my mother.in.law doesn't agree with our relationship. How about this matter be resolved in the future? Huairu looked at Guadabiao seriously. It's really tiring to think about dealing with so many men in my heart. Fortunately, dealing with these men will pay off. Otherwise, why did you get an intrauterine device? Think of this. Huairu pursed her lips and whispered with a smile. When I finish work, I'll go to your place. Upon hearing this, Guadapisi quickly nodded. You haven't come to my house for several days, I miss you so much. Let's talk about it first, it can only last for 1 hour. I still have to go home and cook for the children. You know my mother.in.law is going to nag me again when I'm late. Okay, 1 hour is enough. Guadapisi smiled happily. This is how we separated from Qinhuairu. Qinhuairu watched as Guadapio left. I found a place to sit down and rest in the pavilion. This is the time for lunch break and rest. Lu Lan saw only Zhang Yicheng washing dishes in the kitchen. The person who went in to eat the melon asked. Zhang Yicheng, how did you offend He Yuzhu? Zhang Yicheng worked half a day today. The people in the kitchen are deliberately squeezing him. Just ask Ma Hua. Ma Hua is talking about He Yuzhu. Intentionally ordering his disciples to exclude Zhang Yicheng. Lu Lan asked Ma Hua what kind of contradiction there was. Ma Hua couldn't say it either. What exactly happened between Master and Zhang Yicheng? There is a minor conflict in the courtyard. Zhang Yicheng simply replied while brushing his bowl. Upon hearing this, Lu Lan had a minor conflict with He Yuzhu. That's all for you, since you're from a courtyard house. Do you know Master He and Su Damao? These two people are also at odds, and they didn't give orders to make things difficult for him. Zhang Yi hesitated for a moment. Oh, look at my mouth. Lu Lan awkwardly slapped. Sister Lu Lan, actually I know too. But I didn't expect He Yuzhu to give the order. Zhang Yicheng, Sister Lu, you are also a real person and won't have any conflicts with others. But you offended the chef of the steel rolling mill, He Yuzhu. If you work in the kitchen, you definitely won't have a smooth work schedule. Listening to Lu Lan's words, Zhang Yicheng knew everything. From the first day I came to the kitchen today. Those people fought against each other in unison. Lu Jie, thank you for reminding me. I don't expect to stay in the kitchen for too long. Zhang Yicheng learned from an old worker today. Make contributions to the steel rolling mill, especially their families. There are actually advantages in arranging work. Basically, just talk about which position to go to. Usually, it only requires approval from the person in charge. You can be transferred immediately. This is actually something that few people know. This is also the previous board of directors. The rules for staying. The policy of preferential treatment for family members. When you are still in the kitchen, you should treat He Yuzhu's dessert, don't bother a bit, you know. Lu Lan said and left the kitchen. Zhang Yicheng thought. No wonder Director Zhang said at that time. Some good people may think of transferring. So there is still such a deep-seated policy. While Zhang Yicheng was washing dishes, a few people came in from outside, saying something in your mouth. Zhang Yicheng suddenly became furious when he heard it. Today's update is over. Readers are requested to submit some fresh flower ratings and kneel down.